Welcome to NinonSpeaks. I'm your host, Ninon de Rosa, and my co-host is AJ Dean. Sit back and enjoy the show. Welcome to NinonSpeaks. I'm Ninon de Rosa, your aggravating young lady that asks all the crazy questions with a smile on her face. Anyway, we do two fabulous guests, but as you both already know, or anybody out there knows, I never bring them into the arena. I allow AJ to do that. So AJ, would you like to introduce our beautiful guests?
Yes, thank you so much, Nina. We have two lovely ladies today. We have Kim Adragna, who is an on-air personality. She has her own radio show called The Grindhouse Radio. It's voted one of the best radio shows on the East Coast in New York. And we also have Valerie Mellotti, who is an actress and musical theater production and director. And she's going to talk about Me Too, her Broadway musical. And we're going to have a lot of fun today. So welcome, ladies. Hello.
They look amazing.
Hello.
Both of you look absolutely wonderful. Thank you for coming on our show. And of course, everybody in our audience knows what the show's all about. It's promoting both of you of what you're both doing. Now, Kim, how are you doing, Kim? You look great there.
Thank you. I appreciate I have my nice little virtual background back here, but I'm doing fantastic. It's nice to speak to you again, AJ, and nice to meet you, Ninon. And hello, Valerie. It's awesome to speak with you as well. It's going to be a fun time, but I'm doing great.
Good. Kim, where are you? Are you in Vegas? Are you in New York? Where are you?
I'm in New York, specifically Long Island. Long Island.
Long Island. How wonderful. What's the weather like up there? Is it humid and hot?
Well, today it's a little rainy, but the next couple days it's going to be really, really nice out. But for the last couple days, it was a little humid and warm out, but I can't complain.
Humidity kills you, doesn't it?
Humidity does kill you, but you know what? I'm glad that the summer weather is here, and at least it's beach weather and outdoor activities and fresh air. So I'm okay with that. I could live with that.
Kim, you do voiceover, right?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to come back to you. Valerie, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. We had the first day of school for my kids, and
oh wow, was it good to get them all into school?
Well, 2 out of the 4 are going to school, and then 2 are still continuing to homeschool. And yeah, it's been wonderful. We've got excellent schools here in Green Valley, just outside of Las Vegas. So we're very excited to begin.
And what were they excited going back to school? Because they've been out, for a year and a half?
Well, for us, we have homeschooled since the beginning. And I think that quarantine schooling is what made it so that half of them wanted to go to real school. Homeschooling and quarantine schooling were really 2 different animals for us.
Mm-hmm. Totally. But also it's good for you because now you can breathe a little bit, right?
I'm not sure. I'll tell you after day one. No breathing. I did wake up at 5:30 in the morning and do a sunrise meditation yoga series. And so that was my breathing for the day, possibly.
Wow. Well, you better keep that for the next 24 hours because you're probably going to do the same thing tomorrow morning, right?
Exactly.
I figured that.
The morning routine.
Now, Valerie, we just did a beautiful fundraiser. Actually, it was last Monday, a week ago, we did that. And you had a big turnout. This was something new for you, wasn't it?
Correct. I've never hosted a fundraiser before, so that was a first for me. And we were raising money for the musical that I've written called #MeToo. And it was a great success. Actually, there were more donations coming in just today. So we're very excited at the response, and it was a wonderfully positive response. I've had a lot of people reach out to me and tell me how important it is and how much they feel seen and heard and included, victims as well as other people who are dealing with sexual abuse survivors. So we feel really good about that. If we can help one person, we're doing a great job. So.
I love that. I love that idea of even just helping one person. I had a foundation at one time helping the younger generation. But what exactly is what is it, plus Me Too? What exactly are you following? Where are you going with this foundation?
Well, we'd like to go all the way to Broadway with the musical. And #MeToo started as a movement back in 2006. And I love the way it began. It was really about inclusion and acceptance, which is what all of my musicals are about. And it was connecting people and realizing that you're not alone, that it's happened to me too. So we can connect on that level. Our trauma bodies can connect, and that's the first step to healing, is just to feel that connection and that safety for communication.
Yeah, absolutely. Kim, what do you think about this this organization and sort of, you know, she's coming to New York, which is sort of coming up to your arena up there and everything, and helping not only the younger generation, but helping sort of most people across the board, because when you help the younger generation and when you delve into that, you're really dealing with a lot of parents and grandparents, and different people seem to get involved. What do you think of that? Do you think we need this?
I think that's fantastic. I think, you know, if it's something that you believe in, if it's something that you've been through, and it's something that why you know, to help out one person is what goes miles and bounds for people. And, you know, you creating a musical and shedding light and fundraising, I mean, how could that not do good? And, you know, we need this world to be full of good. You know, we've, in the last year and a half, we haven't had the best of times. So I think for you putting this out and getting fundraising, and then if you're coming to New York, that's fantastic. That's the place to be, to have Broadway and to shed more light and education to people. So I think that's fantastic. If it's something that you believe in, I don't see why anyone should have an issue with it. If it's something from the heart, it's going to go leaps and bounds. So I applaud you for that.
Thank you.
Both of you are in the younger generation, and I'm just trying to figure out, how did we fall through the cracks? How did all this happen? How did we get so distant from the younger generation and from homeless and from trafficking? And we seem to, you know, I have a great saying, we seem to have lost our way as adults of taking charge. Valerie, what happened?
Well, I think that in our culture, as well as cultures around the world, there's toxic masculinity. I think that's one of the issues. I think that it's not that this is a new issue, it's just that there's more awareness. We're all connected now through the internet, so we're able to see just how deep it goes, how tightly woven we are. So I think that those are two of the biggest issues that we're facing. In my musical, we do deal with a male character who gets abused by a female. So in the culture of men, it's even harder for them to come out and communicate about the abuse that they've endured. So we want to also shed light on that issue.
It's funny you bring that up, because I was thinking the other day, you don't hear as much about men being abused or men being homeless or young boys, and all this goes on. And now you're bringing that out. That's something very new, and I think it's something that should be out there. How did you decide to do that as well?
Well, I just think that it's important. And as I looked at the statistics and as I thought about people that I know and things that they've been through, I would like to include everybody. So it's just an automatic thing. I have 4 main characters, and 3 of them are female, ranging from a very young character. You remember Ninon, our character that was played by the wonderful Alexa Sapienza. She's only 7.5 years old.
Yes.
And then we have the other 2 women who are in their 20s or 30s, and the third woman who's middle-aged. And really, age has no significance in sexual violence and abuse. So, and then I brought in the man. And so you can look statistically, it's about 3 times more common to happen to women. And so we represent that by having the 4 characters and one of them being male.
Absolutely. Now let's go over to Kim. Kim, now you are actually in the arena of voiceovers. And how are you doing with that? I mean, I would have imagined in the last 18 months, you would have had an awful lot of work as a voiceover, since, you know, we've been all locked up.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I went into this, I've always been interested in the entertainment industry in some capacity. And of course, back from college, you know, years and years ago, I just started a radio station to be like, okay, let's just have fun, not knowing that I would meet people along the way. And then these people would eventually be my business partners, who are fantastic. And, you know, you know, when you start one thing within audio, I feel like you just automatically go to voiceover work. And I've always loved that. I've always done acting. So it kind of just seemed fit and it just naturally flowed into it. And I've had a fun time so far doing all the voiceover work that I've had the opportunity to do. And yeah, so over the last year, I've gotten some work as well. Of course, some things were shut down because of studios and a lot of doing Zoom calls like this, trying to get the right voice and wording and all of that. But for the moment, you know, it was a very interesting time where Source Connect, and it's just been such a fun time. I mean, I'm the person where I love to chat and connect with anyone. You just never know. That's the beauty of it. Of
never know. No, you don't know who's going to employ you and who wants you.
Yeah.
How do you get yourself into a certain voice? Because I know if you're a narrator and you say you're narrating the jungle or animals or something, and you have to have this certain sort of voice that sort of floats through the jungle without a monotone.
Yeah.
Do you do that?
I've done some narration stuff. I mean, mostly on my show, I've done a lot of things. We've had a lot of commercials on our shows. A lot of that has come through that. So they wanted us to do in-house stuff, which was great, you know, because then, you know, it built me out to do Build-A-Bear stuff and a whole bunch of other things and opportunities that are coming that I can't say yet. But yeah, I mean, just like anything else, if you're an actor or voice actor, it's the same thing. The only difference is audio versus in person or camera, you know, so you still have to get into the headspace of what voice you're going to do. And it just it differs for each one. If I know that it's a kid's voice, well, I'm probably going to do more of, you know, try to either research and go online and see what other voices there are and see if I could mimic and make it my own version. Or if it's commercials and I see what's out there and it works, and that's what's getting booked, then I'll try to, you know, maneuver my voice that way, but in my own way, because it is my voice.
It is your voice. Yeah, but yeah. You just opened up a sort of a door there of you know, people think voices are just get on and just make a voice and just do it, but it's not. There's a lot of research and there's a lot of work. Just like acting, you have to go to acting school, you have to keep learning, you have to keep doing, and it's something that you never stop learning, I guess, until the day you say goodbye to the world. But it's very people don't think of that. They just think of voiceover as a voice coming out from somewhere, you know, and it's not so.
Yeah, even exactly, whether it's acting, your theater acting or on camera, you have to get into a headspace, and you know, you'll get there. You'll get there at some point. But you know, a lot of people don't realize that it's voice acting. You know, it's not just voice and getting in a microphone and being like, woo. Just us talking in a microphone is very foreign to some people, and they get freaked out just by doing that. Yeah. So imagine having to actually put your heart and emotion into it, because you have to act. You know, it's not like I'm physically seeing you and your emotions. I have to get your emotions and feel that from your voice.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah,
you know,
absolutely. Valerie, what do you think about, have you ever done any voiceover?
Oh, in a previous lifetime, back when I used to eat fire and do other things that I don't do anymore.
You don't do anymore. Now, you don't do anymore but because of you have 4 children that you have to take care of. And so that's occupied your time. I do believe you have a 5-year-old.
She's turning 5 on the 18th. So she's very excited about that. She started kindergarten today. And I also run the recording studio that we have in Green Valley with my husband.
So you're really very, very busy. Now your husband actually, and I have to brag about this because I love to brag, because your husband's adorable. Joey is adorable. And but he's a director for Barry Manilow, the music director, isn't he, for Barry Manilow?
He's been the musical director. Right now he's keyboards and background vocals, which you know, he kind of likes more.
He likes that, yeah. He can get a little voice out there. So now we're going to go back to I'm going to go back to New York with this the show you want to put on. I know how hard it is to get a show in New York, what to do, how to do it. Obviously you've got a little bit of an in there because of your husband knows maybe a few people, but also on your career of sort of doing what you've been doing. How hard is it, and how far have you got to get this show on the road?
Well, I was lucky enough to discover Ken Davenport, and he is producing Harmony, which is a musical that Barry Manilow and I believe Bruce Sussman wrote. And I'm working underneath Ken Davenport. I was invited into his inner circle back in February of 2020, and I was supposed to be returning to New York City every 90 days. But obviously that changed, that shifted. And now I'm returning to New York August 18th, and that's the first time since February of 2020. So we're putting together a production September 16th when I return from Europe. We'll be doing another fundraiser and backers.
Will you have the fundraiser here, or will you have it in New York?
This one will be in New York City.
In New York City.
Next
so that's going to be quite something to put on, isn't it?
Indeed, indeed. We're really excited. I've got Ms. Monet and Alexis Sapienza. I've got Tommy London. So it's going to be a really exciting cast. I have Michelle Jones, who is playing violin for us at the show.
Oh, I know Michelle Jones. Hi, Michelle Jones. How are you? I love that woman.
It's coming together beautifully, and stay tuned.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's a lot of hard work for you. But is this not your career? You've never done this sort of thing before, have you?
No, I've acted in musicals before. This is the first time that I'm writing and putting them out there. So during the shutdown, I worked on a children's musical that is for children of all abilities. We have a nonverbal autistic child who's one of the main characters, and we have a puppet who sings the thoughts and feelings of the autistic child. And he, in a bigger picture, represents the voice of the voiceless.
That's absolutely amazing. AJ, what are your thoughts? This is amazing. Both doing different things, but the same thing.
Yes, I have a question for both our wonderful ladies today. I wanted to know what has been their highlight so far of their career, or has it not yet happened? Take it away.
I would say that each highlight is the highlight of the career until the next one. That's how I feel. I don't think there's any one thing that stands out. For me, last Tuesday night was an incredible success. It was also an incredible challenge to put that together in just 2 weeks. I originally was only planning on doing the September 16th in New York City, and the beautiful community in Las Vegas convinced me to showcase it here first. And I'm so glad I did. I got to get my feet wet and felt like everything that could go wrong did, but it still was an amazing performance. And I'm so thankful. The pool of talent that we had was truly the A-list.
It was amazing.
So grateful, and to get their responses, they were so grateful to be part of it. And that means a lot to me. To know that it's important and that it's reaching people is really the most important thing for me. So Tuesday was definitely a highlight of my life.
But it was amazing how you put that on within 2 weeks. I've put on foundation shows as well many times because I had my own foundation, and I know the works. I know what slips through the cracks as well, as of people don't do this and that doesn't happen, and then this happens and that happens. And it's like trying to keep this whole thing together. It's very, very difficult, and it's very challenging.
You're driving a chariot of wild horses. But like
I never thought of it that way, but that's a funny way to put it, but that's true.
And if we affect one person in a positive way, then we've done such a great job, and we've already received so many incredible responses. So I feel very good about how things played out. And we're looking forward to the next time when we'll maybe anticipate a few of the problems that can occur, and we'll be better prepared.
Okay.
Well, a learning experience, a blessing and a lesson, and we had a plethora of both at our event.
And then you gave away all these incredible roses. Everybody got a single rose of love, which was so beautiful. It was amazing. Back over you to answering AJ's question, Kim. Do you want it again?
Absolutely. I think I'm gonna ditto Valerie on that. I like the quote. It's about the journey, not the destination. Of course, you want to get to the destination. It's the fun part. You know you made it. But it's about the journey. Everything that I get involved in, every person that I get to meet, it's another opportunity. Just because, like I said before earlier, you never know who you're going to meet, and you never know the opportunities and I think that that's exactly it. You know, when I get to travel and sign at conventions, or, you know, get to speak every week on air for 2 of my shows, it's an opportunity for people to be like, wow, okay, maybe we'll hire her or something. But I agree with Valerie that it's all the highlights, everything adds up and makes the journey fun. So
You're absolutely right. It is
you
the
know,
journey. And I'm going to interject that because I've been through a journey when I left home at 16. Well, being at home actually for the first 16 years was quite a journey anyway. That's another story. But then also, you know, leaving home and taking on a journey or by yourself and not knowing what's out there. And, and cherishing those moments that you have, that you've achieved. And it's amazing because you don't know quite sometimes where you're going or what you're doing, and you guide yourself and you try and you do this and you do that. And it's the most incredible journey. And I think if we all take the positive side of a journey and not have to always think, well, I've got to do this and I've got to be right and I've got this, and it's not that at all, is it, Kim?
No, I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, it's natural. Hey, we're entertainment industry, right? It's tough, you know, trying to get out there, getting your voice out there, doing all the fun stuff. But in the end, it's something that we all here enjoy. And yeah, it is a journey. You know, you definitely have to look at the positives, because for the most part, there's probably a lot more rejection than there is acceptance. And I know these are cliche, but it is true. Until you actually get into it, there's a lot more rejection than acceptance. But the times that you do get accepted and you do get those opportunities, you're like, this is great. This is, you know, I want to take the time that whoever I'm working with or get the opportunity to work with, I'm going to enjoy this time, because time is valuable. So you have to take the positives in that. So
you do, but
let's all be
also
positive.
yeah, also it's not guaranteed when you get a job and it's for the next 6 months or the next year. Nothing's guaranteed. Even when you make it, you've still got to keep your position there. You've still got to keep yourself there. Isn't that so, Valerie? I mean, Valerie, you've been through a lot. You've got, you know, your husband with his work and what you do, and then your 4 children. You really do have a challenge out there.
A lot of plates spinning. I'd also love to add to what Kim was talking about. I saw a meme recently and it really affected me. It said, when asked, is it the journey or the destination? I responded, it's the company I kept along the way. And I think that that's a huge, huge message. I used to work in the film industry in my previous life, back in my 20s, which was in the 90s in New York City. And we did, you know, actually find our tribe. And we were always working with the same people because of how well we worked together and how well we understood each other and vibrated on the same level. And so I think that that's really important also to acknowledge that it's the company that you keep. And at my production in particular, it was amazing. I had the best of the best. I had Grammy Award winners. I had Broadway stars. I had 2 of Barry Manilow's band members, 1 from the Righteous Brothers, and the list goes on. It's just so incredible to me, and I'll definitely work with them again and again. They were in the studio recording for my demo, and I'm so grateful not only for the people that I was working with, but the people who showed up. If there's no audience, then there's nothing for us to perform, really. So grateful that you were there, Ninon. Thank you so much. It meant to me. And everyone who showed up. It was an incredible turnout for being still a pandemic. The mask mandate had just started again, and only planning it in 2 weeks. So grateful, grateful, grateful all the way around.
Well, now we want all our audience out there, and I'm going to address them all right now because we really, really, really need you. What Valerie is doing is really amazing, but we need financial support. And it is a fundraiser. So how much money are you looking for to put this this musical on in New York, Valerie?
To put a Broadway musical together, you need 8 to 14 million in seed money, and then you need 1 million per week to break even. So that's what we're looking for.
Okay, well, I'm glad I mentioned it. Hopefully hopefully we're gonna have to put this show out over the entire world.
Yes, and
Tomorrow, tonight. AJ, did you hear what we've got to do?
yes, absolutely. And I do want to say one thing. Georgette Dante would like you, Valerie Mellotti, in her burlesque, Legends of Burlesque film that she's going to do. She wants you to play a lady gangster in the future. And I had to get that in because, you know, we love Georgette and she's our director of entertainment. And I just wanted to mention that to you. Are you excited about it?
I'm very excited. I played a James Bond girl in an Indian movie called Ampantiak Talki, which we originally recorded in 1997 with Aishwarya Rai, who was Miss Universe 1995, and Sunil Shetty, who's a household name in India. He's similar to a Sylvester Stallone. And it was a very wonderful and exciting time. So I'm looking forward to completing that circle. I feel like life is a lot of circles that get completed, and I'm very excited. I was very honored when she called me, and especially because I get to work with you, AJ, and you, Ninon. That's going to be fabulous.
Yeah, we're going to be gangsters as well, aren't we, AJ?
Yes, yes, we are. And I hope that one day, Kim, that we can also collaborate with you in some form. I know you have a radio show, but
you could be a voiceover, Kim.
I act as well. Let's form our own James Bond thing. Let's all act and do that.
Yeah, baby. Hey.
So, Ninon, it's time to wrap up. I just wanted to let you know that.
Oh, well, I just want to thank, we have a time. Obviously, our show is a half-hour show, actually 26 minutes. Our show is, and we've just got a new timing on the whole thing. So if I louse it up, just blame me. It's okay. I'm used to lousing things up. I want to thank our guest, Kim. You are amazing. I love the voiceover business. I think it's incredible. I did a little myself. Valerie, for what you're doing. I also had a foundation for the younger generation and for kids that needed to go to college and university and all that stuff. So it was amazing. And most important, I want to thank AJ, who is my producer. She's absolutely amazing. Without AJ, nothing happens because you'd have to rely on me, and that would be a little bit difficult. But I want to thank all our audience as well out there. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in.